Yo, welcome back to the Slice of Life, 5-minute Slice of Life podcast with Shira. I'm trying to, I guess, count back a little bit better. But listen, I want to talk a little bit about daily stuff again. Sorry, I just had to think a little bit because I've got to be a little bit more quiet. There's a lot of people apparently who want to eavesdrop on conversations and stuff like that, and usually I don't mind too much, but keeping in mind the public reception hasn't been all that great lately, I'm gonna have to try to speak in a kind of more whispery tone and increase the gain on the mic, so I apologize if things are a little bit difficult to understand. I'll try to enunciate myself better. Leaning into the mic right now if you can't see. I want to talk about daily stuff, and I'm actually want to talk about something really positive despite that kind of rough start, and that is having to do with I'm really happy about this because let's start off with I said every week I wanted to do at least 2-3 videos, podcasts on daily review on routines, health, finance, relationships, and purpose. And I also wanted a separate series also on people who kind of color your life in a positive way, in a way that makes it meaningful and worth living. So today, in this episode, I want to cover how happy I am to hear
At
that
Starbucks, we take summer super seriously, and
not
we
the
know you do too.
advertisement.
Time to put
How happy I am to actually receive. I was on the transit. So a little story here. I was on the transit this morning and I was trying to take the train. We call it subway here because it's underground. And what I was trying to do at the time was respond to one of my friends because he invited me to a BBQ with a mutual friend. I would say it's more like acquaintance. We're not really friends. With his friend was having a barbecue, and I was on one of these Viber, WeChat, WhatsApp, and trying to get back to him on that because I wasn't particularly interested, but at least I had to let him know. And then I was surprised to see that on the call history for the app was someone who I had a lot of fun just constantly. I just really enjoyed their company. So it's someone I met at the shelter. And again, like usual, most of my friends are substantially older than I am. And it's no different with this man. And he's married, he's got kids. And at first, we didn't really quite get along. But as time went on, we were able to sort out some misunderstandings. And he became one of my closest friends. And we were the most... you would look from the surface, on the appearance, it would seem the most obnoxious because we were cussing here and there and making all sorts of really ridiculously, it was completely uncensored jokes. We were totally unfiltered. And it's that kind of very rough banter. We're just kind of ripping on each other and stuff like that. And I kind of missed that because when I grew up, I grew up kind of downtown. I had a friend also uptown who was from Trinidad. And so this bud of mine, he's actually, at the shelter, he's actually from Sri Lanka. And I know, I absolutely love Sri Lankan people, because they have a really, really just a very blunt sense of humor. Sometimes, it's a cultural difference that makes it difficult for us to connect, but the Sri Lankan friends that I do have, there's basically, we're totally unfiltered. It's like it's like, fuck you, asshole. Fuck you too. And then we get all political and stuff like that, which I'm not going to dive into because that kind of stuff is probably going to get this podcast taken down. So I can't even say a single thing there because the things we say are so, it's all jokes, it's all fun and jokes, but it's so, I guess, inappropriate for a podcast setting, which is fair enough. And my podcast isn't the kind of thing to do that anyways. So I tried to avoid that on the podcast because that's not the main genre. I guess you could say if you want something like that, you could always go to like I don't know, like Andrew Tate, I guess, that kind of humor, or Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz would be a much better choice, I believe. So if you want, you can go to Andrew Schultz and you'll get that kind of stuff, but not on my podcast. So, but that's basically that's the level of uncensored jokes and raw, blunt humor, very dark humor at times. Just think like 9/11 and like Viet Cong and very political, very religious kind of jokes, and we just went ham. And we probably get called all sorts of isms if we did that on this podcast or episode. I was like, I do have to explain, right? So, unfortunately, he does have a chronic illness that means that I probably won't be able to see him for very long, and time's ticking. Probably won't see him by the end of this year. And I figured that was the last time I was going to see him. So I accompanied him to the airport, and I think I may have spoken a little bit about this trip to one of the airport about this trip with this buddy of mine, although in less detail. I don't know, a couple weeks back on Upload. And again, just very briefly, I met with his wife and his daughter, and we just parted ways and said farewell. But he gave me a call apparently yesterday, and now it's been about 2-3 weeks now since I haven't heard from him. I kind of assumed that would be the last time I'd see him. We would we would go. It reminds me. Also, like this is about a month ago. During the last week, him and we would just go, and he'd bring also a third friend. Like the three of us are really close. One's from Trini, one's from Sri Lanka, and there's me. Again, both of them are like substantially older than me. One's a grandfather, his kids are adults, and then the other one, he's not a grandfather, he's a father, right? And so all the three of us would go to the liquor store. It's the funniest shit, because we're kind of like fooling around, and he'd pick up like a bottle of vodka, and so would I, and he gifted me one, because I gifted him at one point. I gifted him and the whole dorm actually in the shelter, a glass bottle of Malibu rum. It's pretty tame. That's kind of baby stuff. It's like 20%, but it has a nice sweet coconut flavor to it. He just goes straight for the vodka. So anyways, we had a lot of good time. We could spend 4 hours just like talking smack and talking shit. Again, we wouldn't do it in public, right? We just do this this is within the social dynamic of your close group of friends, right? It's like social cues and stuff like that. Keep that in mind. I think that's again something that is missing from society nowadays. People don't really understand how to do comedy people just don't get it. It's like comedy is not equal, guys. There's like shit comedies, there's bad comedy, and there's good comedy, there's great comedy. It's just like the whole diversity inclusion bullshit. Nothing is equal, okay? It's not equal. Well, comedy isn't equal either. There's a big difference between. I'm not gonna get into it. Not gonna get into it. The point is, I was able to be very unfiltered with his friend, and I might not have seen him for a long time, and he gave me a call. I wasn't expecting that. I know we added each other. I made a North Korean kind of joke when I sent him my first message, and then he also asked me about something that may or not be able to help him on his condition. And so during that time, I also sent him a couple of links about the business that I kind of do that is in cellular research and nutrition. But I also made an offhanded joke because we have a lot of inside jokes there. And, I thought really honestly that would be the last time I'd see or hear from him ever again. And then last night he gave me a call. But the time difference in time zones now, apparently he's like halfway across the globe, right, Sri Lanka? So the 10-hour difference means that like I can only call him in the mornings if I want to speak to him. And he's called me at his appropriate time during the day. But for him during the day means I'm like 2 a.m. at night. So anyways, it's going to be fun. I'm going to get back in touch with him. So yeah, that's so this is one of those people who I really just enjoy the company. I've known him for only about 10 months, but again, because I have had a lot of Sri Lankan friends prior to this, I used to volunteer for a seniors home that was split between like Cantonese, like Hong Kong traditional, and then the other half was like largely Tamil, so Tamil Sri Lankans, and oh, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Um, so we got along. It was good. It was good. So that's it. This is someone I'd like to spend more time with as much as possible before we won't be able to again because of a chronic condition. Hopefully, but I do can help him with that. If it can't, then just live day by day and appreciate whatever time you get with the people you care for. So yeah, that's something that's really positive, and I want to talk about that. So that's it. Very short, sweet, to the point. I'll see you guys in the next one. It's gonna be another positive thing. It's something that made me really happy, and it gave me a lot of memories. But we'll discuss that in the next one. So see you guys in the next one. This is Risha signing out, and yeah, peace.